Ahava blessings. Welcome to this episode of Embodying the Shekhinah. This podcast is here to support us and guide us during these times of accelerating energy, of intensity, in order to integrate, embody, remember our soul essence. I'm your host. My name is Aurea. I am an ordained Magdalene priestess, a Reiki master, energy, and sound alchemist. And this is the episode for the new lunar cycle of Capricorn Tevet, and it is a potent lunar cycle. It is the last new moon of 2025. Congratulations, we made it to the other side. Well, almost. It's an intense time as this moon is aspected by a few more challenging planets. However, as with every new lunar cycle, there is always a lesson. And every time we choose to spiral within these cycles and dive deeper into the symbolism, the mysticism, the meaning, and the lessons of each cycle, we get to expand and achieve deeper levels of consciousness, deeper levels of awakening, of healing, of expansion, and of embodiment of our soul. And so we begin with this moon. This moon is the second new moon in Sagittarius. It is happening at 28 degrees of Sagittarius. Sun and moon is conjunct, which makes it a new moon. And it is happening at 5:43 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8:43 Eastern Standard Time on the 19th, Friday, which is a Shabbat day. It is a day of going within. It is a day of connecting to the divine and to connecting with your soul. This is when we welcome the Shekhinah, the divine feminine presence, back into our lives. And for our friends in Europe, Central European time, it is happening in the early hours of the morning, 2:43 a.m. on the 20th of December, Saturday. As I mentioned, this moon, this entire year, it's a 9-year. So, of course, it has been quite a ride. The next year is a 1 year. It's a 10-1. And it's still going to be intense. However, the flavors of the energies that we're working with are different. We've been working with, and the other thing to mention today, Friday the 19th, the interstellar object 3i Atlas comes at its closest point, closest to the Earth. And that is bringing us heightened levels of energy, of awakening. There's also intense solar flares and solar activity. So all of that changes the electromagnetic, has an impact on the electromagnetic field of the Earth, which in turn has an energetic impact, and it of course impacts the waters, the animals, the plants, and our human energy fields and our physical body. As you've heard me say this again, I'm sure, we're not just physical beings. Our physicality is intensely impacted by the energetics. And oftentimes those are energetics that we cannot see. But those of us who are highly attuned or who work on our attunement to other frequencies, we can feel the energy. We can feel the shifts and the changes that are happening. This moon is pretty beautiful because Venus is conjunct the sun and the moon. Venus is the Garden of Eden, the planet of love, beauty, expansion, creation, creativity. It is the planet of pleasure, but also the planet of knowing the boundaries that you must have in order to honor your vessel. And Venus is conjunct Mars. Well, it's a loose conjunction. Mars is at 3 degrees of Capricorn. So these energies, Mars wants action. Venus is love and beauty. Mars is the warrior. Mars is about action. It is about being decisive. It is about going into the forefront and getting things done. Mars can be a chaotic energy. However, it doesn't always play out that way as long as it's not in a fire sign. In a fire sign, Mars can be very unpredictable, very chaotic, very warlike. However, in an earth sign, there is a grounded energy to the Mars energy. It's more about being grounded in reality and in how you can make your dreams come true with the Mars energy, which is exactly what we need. The two complicated aspects of this moon have to do with the the Neptune-Saturn conjunction in Pisces. And that is, Saturn is structure, Saturn is discipline, Saturn is the taskmaster. Saturn wants you to do the things that you need to be doing to advance and to embody your soul in order to bless you with abundance and all of the things that your soul needs for expansion. Neptune is the planet of illusion. Neptune is also your soul in its most expansive, infinite version, your soul unfettered by the confines of the body. Remember, the soul in the body is represented by the moon. So this energy is giving us a lack of clarity. We have the sun, the moon, Mars, and Venus wanting to move forward. There is a joining of our emotional and intuitive selves, our emotional selves, and our physical selves. There's that oneness that is coming in, and then the energies of creation and the energies of action from Mars and Venus, Venus and Mars respectively. And then we have the kind of frustrated square that they are doing that's happening between them and Saturn and Neptune. Neptune wants us to expand. It's the planet of spirituality. It's the planet of expansion. It's the planet of deep wisdom, mystical wisdom, wisdom that cannot be quantified by the human mind. And Saturn wants structure. When these two are together, it's kind of funny because Neptune has the ability to pierce through the toughness, the tough exterior of Saturn. And Saturn wants nothing to do with it because Neptune is just too airy-fairy fluffy, even when Neptune actually hones in on the exact right thing. So there's a balancing act that needs to happen. There is an agreement that has to occur. So for this energy, I know that new moons are a time of new beginning, and we also have the solstice on the 20th. So we have a point in time in the northern hemisphere where the energy is about being still. The energy is about going within. The energy is about being in receptivity. And the Beit, the Aramaic Hebrew frequency Beit, created Saturn, rules Capricorn. Ayin created Capricorn and is the ruler for this lunar cycle. So we have these two energies that are, these energies that are working together to want us to move forward in the direction of expansion and the full embodiment of our soul, our mission, our purpose, the grounding of those energies. And we have this square that is delaying gratification. So at this time, it is in the depths of winter in the northern hemisphere. We have the least amount of light coming within onto the earth in the northern hemisphere. This is a time to rest. We are in the depths of winter. Allow yourself the space and the grace to listen. Listen to what your body is telling you. Listen to the wisdom of your soul. Be still. And oh my goodness, it is so hard for human beings to remain still, particularly during the holiday season. There's always a party. There's always something to do. There's always somewhere to be seen. There's always something that we're doing that has an external focus. We want to have the best presents or receive the best presents. We want to give the best parties. We want to be seen. We want to be flashy. This is not the time to be doing any of that. So amidst our responsibilities, which require us to be outward, give yourself the grace and the space. Take the time to go within. Take the time to sit with what is coming up. We are closing a cycle. Or some of us are closing several cycles. So, what does the closing of cycles require? The closing of cycles, the ending of chapters, requires resolution, requires us to assess what has happened and take action to tie up loose ends. Take action to clear whatever energy needs to be cleared in order to welcome a new beginning. We cannot welcome a new beginning if we are holding on to old stuff. If we are carrying the baggage of the failed relationships, of the failed partnerships, of the failed businesses, whatever, of the patterns of our family where there's always lack and suffering and there's never enough, if we are carrying the baggage of our ancestors, of our lineage, of our families, of our own selves, if we are our past lives, all of it, if we are hell-bent on carrying that, we are not going to have room for what we are calling in. And then we're going to be frustrated and wondering why nothing's working out for me. Nothing's working out because we're not allowing ourselves to take the time to clear what needs to be cleared and to allow ourselves to receive the wisdom that will bring us into deep alignment with our soul and with what we are here to do. Neptune is the planet of illusion, and my heavens, there is a ton of illusion in this world at this time. Right is wrong, white is black, black is white, all kinds of shenanigans happening in the world. Now is the time, and Saturn wants none of that BS. So now is the time to really be employing discernment. I've been speaking about discernment for I don't know how long. I've lost track because it has been a recurrent theme, at least for the last year. Honing your discernment, not jumping on a bandwagon because everyone is doing it, so it must be the right thing to do. No, think for yourself. You have a brain, you have hopefully mental faculties that allow you to discern right from wrong, that allow you to discern what is good for you. You also have intuitive capabilities. You don't just have mental capabilities. You have intuitive capabilities. And this is Capricorn energy. Capricorn is the sea goat. Capricorn is grounded AF. Capricorn is the one that manifests and gets things done, all about their resources, their legacy, hard work, discipline, doing the hard things so that they can hopefully coast later on. Saturn is that energy that wants to get you where you want to be. But are you effing around and just not really paying attention to what you're doing, who you're doing it with, the energy you're holding, the frequency you're manifesting? Are you not paying attention to the fact that your thoughts, your words, and your actions are manifesting your world? Because if you're not paying attention, Saturn is going to kick your butt. That's what Saturn does. If anyone's had a Saturn return that was particularly rough, I have. Happens at 29, 30-ish. And again, in your late 50s, 60s. So again, if we're not doing the thing we're supposed to be doing and we're not on our path, Saturn gets feisty because Saturn doesn't like to waste time. Saturn is time. Saturn likes to make the most of their time, their energy, because time is money, energy is money. Saturn doesn't mess around when it comes to their resources. Capricorn doesn't mess around when it comes to the resources, which means you have to be on your P's and Q's. You have to be minding your energy, your frequency, all of it. This energy wants to advance. It wants to grow. It wants to expand. It wants to set the structure and set the stage and set the tone for what is happening. And if you get in the way, Saturn is not your friend. However, if you are listening and slowing down and taking the time to receive the information and then doing the things you're supposed to be doing, Saturn is your bestie. I know in Hellenistic astrology, Saturn is a malefic and it's a bad planet. No, there is no bad planet. In certain aspects, when we're trying to predict, perhaps there are planets that have more of a restrictive energy to them. And Saturn is restrictive. But Saturn is restrictive because when it comes, think of human beings like children. When a child is a toddler, are you going to let that child run amok and place their hands on the fire? You're not going to, are you? Because you know that child will hurt itself really badly if you allow the child to run amok and place its hands on the fire or put its finger in a socket. We don't do this, right? I hope. We don't do this. We don't do this, and that is the energy of Saturn, because Saturn wants to protect us. Saturn wants to keep us safe and on our mission. And if we're not doing the things we're supposed to be doing, Saturn is going to be restrictive. However, when we're doing the things we're supposed to be doing, Saturn works as a benefic. Saturn works to expand and bring you the resources that you need to fulfill your mission, to fulfill your purpose, to expand in your mission and purpose and ground it into the physical world. This moon is happening at 28 degrees. 28 is the number 10, which is the number 1. So it is about co-creation, unity, complete union with the divine, with source. The confidence that comes from knowing that you are one with the divine, knowing that you are one with Ahava, God, Goddess. It is the soul that remembers that we come from source. We come from the divine. We are all one. It is the month of Ayin, as I mentioned, and Ayin is the eye. It is about perception. So this energy, this Capricorn energy brings us the ability to see, perceive clearly. It allows us to really discern what is sacred amidst the mundane. And I know that we have a tendency in spiritual circles to equate all of physicality with the mundane and then equate physicality with being negative, having a negative connotation. Everyone wants to ascend. Everyone wants to sort of get rid of the body without understanding or ignore the physical world, the bills, the day-to-day things that we need to do to be grounded in reality. We have the tendency to ignore those, to want to bypass those because we don't see the sacredness in our physical experience. We could not express our soul in this physical world without the body, without the physical experience, without the day-to-day muggle shit. We couldn't express our soul. So this month brings us the awareness, the ability to obtain the awareness that in even the most mundane tasks, even the most mundane circumstances, there is the sacred. The sacred exists within the mundane. And this is what we are bringing our attention and our awareness back to. We are opening the pathways for that deeper understanding, the deeper perception and connection to the divine. We are able to look beyond the veil of the material world and let the eyes of the soul be our guides to the infinite light that dwells within all things. That is a hard feat for us to accomplish because we've been conditioned and programmed to want to negate all that makes this human experience what our soul signed up for. We want to negate the importance of the body, the importance of nourishing the body, the importance of money and resources, and the importance of having security. We want to negate even having a regular job, so to speak. We tend to think that that is not our mission, that if our mission is to be a healer, somehow having a regular job, quote unquote, is not a good thing. And it is the exact opposite, because it is your ability to behave and allow yourself to unfold within the physical world that allows us to transform it. We transform it by holding our frequency amidst the chaos. And this is why our practices and our ability to meditate, our ability to come back into the heart, our ability to see beyond the veil, Ayin, is so important. Because it's easy to fly off the handle and to want to not be in the physical world, which I've experienced for many years, not wanting to be in the physical because it's too hard, it's too dense, there's too much chaos, there's too much negativity. Yes, it's difficult, and it all serves the purpose of our soul's expansion, of our soul's embodiment, and our soul's expression. The ability of our soul to express in this physical world. It's all part and parcel of it. There are no accidents. We think that because we are so smart as human beings, we're the smartest in the animal kingdom, or so we think, that we know better than the divine, than nature. And we don't. We don't. And to go into this cycle with the humility to know that we are one with the divine, we are a vessel for the divine, our soul, to express in the physical world, and yet we are constantly being guided. We are constantly looking within to our alignment, to our frequency, so we can gauge where we are on our path. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing outside of you can guide you better than your heart. Your heart is the most important thing to your connection to the divine, to your connection to your soul, to your connection to this physical incarnation and how we express in it. By being able to remain in your heart amidst all of the chaos, continuing to bring the light and to manifest your mission. That requires courage, it requires humility, and it requires discipline and hard work. All of these things are Capricorn energy. Ayin brings us into stillness. Ayin brings us into the space where we can quiet the noise of the ego. This is why Capricorn rules the knees, the bones, the structure of your body. Your knees are the ego. This is why in many traditions we pray on our knees, because we are bringing ourselves to the point where our ego is not ruling us. We are allowing the soul to rule the ego. Ayin teaches us that true vision comes from letting go of our judgments and opening the gates to the greater flow of divine will. Ayin symbolizes the union of opposites, the integration of light and shadow into wholeness, the union of polarities, the union of shadow and light. The union, I'd even say, of your soul and your physical body. This is a deep, deep sign. Capricorn is a deep energy. It is an ancient energy in many ways, and it's one of the reasons I like working with Capricorn, because Capricorn is also ruled. Mother Anna is the light being that comes in and supports us and rules, in a sense, over Capricorn. Mother Anna is the great matriarch. She is the guardian of our mission of light conception, and she's the one that allows us to receive our mission, to come into alignment, to open ourselves to receive our mission. This month is, firstly, as I mentioned again, I will say this again, come back into your heart, into stillness. Slow down. Instead of thinking that you need to be outward and doing all the things, slow the hell down. There's no rush. Slow and steady, especially until this square with Saturn in Pisces and Neptune in Pisces resolves itself. Because those two are bringing contentious energy, and we're not seeing clearly. We're not seeing what is truly happening. And it's all over in our society. We get one side, we get one skewed perspective, a certain narrative that people want to jam down our throats. And most people fall for it hook, line, and sinker. Why? Because they're not using their true sight. They're not actually going within, fine-tuning their alignment and their frequency, and discerning whether it actually makes sense or if there's more to the story, and then doing the research, the hard work to go deeper into the myths and the muck and see what's truly going on. If you actually see what's truly going on, you're not going to like it, but you're going to have a well-rounded and grounded perspective and understanding of what the hell's going on in the world. And there's way more happening than what we're seeing in the news. So cultivate discernment. Work on that piece. Let go of judgment. Let go of the ego. It's not about being right. My word. And Capricorn gets into this. Capricorn and Earth signs. All of them. Incredibly stubborn. And once they think they're right, and they know they're right. And most of the time they are right. I will give them that. However, we must, as a humanity, stop being married to being right. It is not about being right. What matters more than you being right and your feelings getting validated is whether you are in alignment with your soul. Are you in alignment with goodness, with creation, with life force energy? Or are you in alignment with illusion, delusion, and whatever? Chaos and destruction, and what are you aligning with? This has been the theme for this entire year. It's a 9-year. We're closing a cycle. What are you aligning with? Now is the time to either shit or get off the pot. Either we're choosing the correct alignment or we're not. Ain't nobody got time for any more deliberations. Choose the frequency you are going to align with. Choose what you wish to birth into this world. Bait created Saturn. That's the other frequency that we're working with this cycle. Bait is about birthing. Bait is the home. Bait is clearing the space so you have the vessel for the seeds that want to be birthed through your experience. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of letting go. Let go. Let go of your judgments, of what you think is right, what you think is wrong, let go of your identity. Let go of all of that which you are holding on to. Let go of victim mentality in particular. This is a 9-year. We are not victims. I'm sick of seeing that. Everybody crying about one thing or another. They got their feelings hurt because someone spoke something that was not in alignment with what they believe in. I'm sorry, but there are facts and then there are feelings. And actually, I'm not sorry about that. There are facts. There's actual facts, numbers, correlations. And then there's feelings. Your feelings have nothing to do with facts. And facts have nothing to do with feelings. The two are not friends. They don't get along. They're two different things. Feelings lead to ideologies and lead to us not questioning what we are believing in, what we are choosing. Facts, however, lead to questions. That is the true scientific method. You come up with a hypothesis, you test the hell out of it, and if it holds water, it holds water. If it doesn't, you start again. That is science. That is facts. We go and we gather the data, we analyze the hell out of that data, and then we form as educated an opinion as we can form based on the facts that we have in play. Our feelings have nothing to do with it. This is the energy of this Capricorn energy. Go for. Do not shy away from the truth, from seeing clearly, from actually letting go of your own baggage and your own ego, your sense of rightness. Let it all go. Because what we are aligning to in this new cycle for this and then the next year, what we're coming into is we need to cultivate a deeper awareness and a deeper level of discernment and a deeper level of connection to our true essence. It's not about identity. It's not about nonsense that has been created in the physical world. This isn't what it's about. Our humanity depends on us being able to remain in the heart. The expansion of humanity, the expansion of creation depends on our ability to remain in our heart, and from the heart space to allow ourselves to receive clear information, clear wisdom to guide us on our path and to be able to discern with the true sight so we can align more deeply, more clearly, more strongly with our soul and with the divine. This energy is potent. This is the final new moon. We can gain tremendous insight if we just sit down, stay still, and shut the fuck up, pretty much. Shut up your mind. Shut it. Your mind in this circumstance is not going to help unless you need it to quantify and analyze. If you need the mind to quantify and analyze and research, have at it. Beyond that, the mind needs to sit down in a corner and just face the corner. You need to align with your heart. We align to the divine with our heart. We quantify and analyze the world and our experiences with the mind. The two have two very, very different functions. And with this Capricorn energy, we're being asked to fuse them, to have the discernment to know when to employ the mind and when to align with your soul and align with the divine. Ayin gives us that. We are aligning with inner vision, with divine wisdom. And when we align with our inner vision, with that divine wisdom, the world begins to shift and reflect our internal alignment. The two are not separate. The two are one and the same. And we come back to that energy of oneness, which is the one of the degrees of this new moon. So stay still, slow down, allow this energy to give you clear insight. And it may take a moment for the dust to settle once you sit down and shut the fuck up. It might take a moment for the dust to settle and for you to actually be able to be like, whew, I can breathe. Connect with the breath. That's the other thing. Connect with your breath. Your breath is the quickest tool to bring you back into your heart space. The breath. Do breath work. Focus just on your breath. Connect with nature. Connect with the earth. Allow the earth to guide you. Some people think that nature, Mother Nature, when we revere Mother Nature, we're somehow not revering the divine. Somehow God is absent from revering the cycles and earth and the mountains and the trees and whatnot. No. Who do you think animates all of creation? It's the divine. The divine speaks through the wind, through the mountains, through the earth, through the trees, through the waters. Everything that is in creation is sacred. Everything leads you back to that source, that oneness, that divine presence. Allah, God, Goddess. All roads lead you back there, into your infinite self. Take this time, use it wisely, choose your frequency, employ discernment. Know when to use the mind, and allow your heart, your soul to be the guide that channels the energy of the mind into something fruitful and expansive, and that is supportive of your soul, of your expansion, of your expanded embodiment of your mission, your soul, your purpose in this life. This is what we are here to do. This energy is very powerful, very beautiful. Use it. Slow down, set your intentions. Allow a few days after the new moon to really begin to feel the shift in the energy, the shift that is going to move us forward into the next cycle. Let go of fear, let go of judgment, let go of all of the fluff and all of the baggage that we've been holding on to. Now is the time to let it go. We cannot carry it with us forward. If we do, we're going to be weighed down by stuff that we don't need. It's kind of like if you're moving a house. You begin taking stock of what needs to be thrown out, what needs to go to Goodwill, what needs to go into shelter, to donation, whatever. We take stock of what needs to be cleared out in order to make room for something greater. We need to do that. Take this time, use it wisely. Capricorn is great at making lists and itemizing and figuring out what needs to stay, what needs to go. Use this Capricorn energy, because it can shift you into greater manifestation, into greater expansion of your resources. Employ gratitude as well. Wherever we employ gratitude, whatever we are being grateful for expands. Employ gratitude. And enjoy this time. Enjoy this time. Allow this energy to open your sense of your intuitive gifts. Capricorn is deeply, deeply intuitive. Allow this energy to open your intuition and to guide you into deeper alignment. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to tune in to the sound activation for this new moon. You can work with it for the entire lunar cycle. It's a beautiful sound activation for this lunation. Allow it to take you within. Allow yourself to align with Mother Anna, align with your soul, align with expansion. Everything is here to support us in our growth and in our expansion. Take every opportunity as that lesson. Nothing is happening to you. Everything is happening for you, for the greater expansion and embodiment of your soul, for you to share your light and embody and share your mission. Have a blessed new moon. Ahava.